Hey, it's Chia here with the Kirby and Christina team at Remax Results. Have you ever wondered what you should be bringing to a listing presentation and what to put in your equity evaluations? And how do you do it without even having had seen the home first? So we know that first impressions matter, and we want you to feel prepared as you go into 2025. So today I'm sharing with you our equity evaluation that helped us close 283 listings in 2024 and meet with 677 new listing clients. So, to start with, our first step is always walking our clients through our marketing presentation, which really just shows them our unique value and helps them understand what we're going to be doing for them to market their home best. Once you get through that presentation, the goal is that they're going to see the value of what you bring to the table. The next part is probably the part that they're always most excited about, which is the what do the numbers look like? So, our equity evaluation consists of four parts, which I'll show you today. The first one is the absorption analysis, the pricing guide. Then we do a comparable homes review. And the last part is the equity evaluation itself. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Know how to get this off my screen. All right. So let's talk about that absorption analysis. The first thing is it really is showing our clients supply and demand. What we really want to show them is also months of inventory in their particular submarket. So what you're doing is giving them a snapshot of in the past 12 months, the prior 12 months to that, how many homes came on the market, how many sold, and how long they stayed on the market on average days. What that ends up giving us is now based on what's currently on the market, we can figure out what our number of months of inventory is. And that then allows us to see what the pricing strategy should be. So when we're 0 to 2 months, we know that we can be priced with or no more than 10% above market to the extreme. When you have more than 12 months of inventory, you know that you have to price almost 12%, 10% below the market if you want to be able to, beat the competition. So I do want to note that this equity evaluation is a slightly older one just for client confidentiality. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't pulling anything super recent. So, mind you, that's why the numbers look the way they do. Now, the next piece then is jumping into the pricing guide. And what this does is helps our clients understand what determines value when we're looking at a home. And oftentimes your clients might want to say, well, it's those brand new countertops I put in, or it's the fancy marble, you know, um, flooring that they may have added to their bathroom. But what we really want to help them focus on is really its location that matters most, then the size of your home, and then lastly, the amenities. So just helping them understand what really is going into the value of your home. The next thing is just kind of getting on the same page about what you control as a seller, what I control as the agent, and ultimately what's kind of a given. The role and what my specific role is, which is marketing the home. And my favorite, probably the visual that we have in our equity evaluation is this right here, which is the just a graph that shows why pricing it the first time matters so much. We know that you get the highest percentage of your asking price with the least days on market. So what we want to avoid is the stair step method that where people consistently take price cuts until ultimately they get less than what they could have gotten if they just priced right the first time. I would say in our listing presentations, this is probably one of the most powerful visuals that we have to help people understand why it's so important to price right the first time and not overprice in a market. The next thing then is how do you know your price right? This bullseye is something we refer back to often, even once we're on the market, because what it does is it helps our clients understand, hey, we're getting like some online showings and no longer any foot traffic. We're probably this percentage off. And how do you know your price right? You're getting offers. That's probably the easiest one to explain. So most people are in agreement with that. Then we jump into the comparable analysis piece of it. At this point, this is actually where you'll bring out your properties, you'll look at photos, you'll do a comparison to say, hey, this is, we're really close in style of home square footage. However, they may have more updated X. They sold for this price. So you start walking through the comparable homes with them that you pulled along with the photos. What that does then is that allows us to then jump into the equity evaluation where we take down the numbers and we make it all make sense. So we'll do a deeper dive in part two, but just to kind of give you an example of what it pulls is it pulls your comparable market analysis where we're just looking at price for price, what have homes sold, what was their list price, what did they sell for, and on average, how much do they sell for? Then what we're going to do is look at the square footage analysis. We always do a breakdown of above ground versus below ground because we know that appraisers view above ground below ground square footage a little differently. So we do that with all the comparable homes that we had picked out. And then this is the above grade square footage analysis with all the comparable homes we picked out. And then we jump into that internet estimate because it matters. Not that it has a whole lot to do with the actual value of the home, but buyers see it and it's public knowledge. So we want to talk about the elephant in the room. And oftentimes your sellers have seen it. So by just talking about it up front, it helps them understand, well, why my agent is telling me that my homes can be listed for this price when on Zillow I see it's listed for this price. And sometimes we actually find that Zillow is pretty spot on based compared to our market analysis. And then last, we look at tax value too. Under the same principle, it's just public knowledge. People are going to see it. People are going to wonder. They're going to ask why you're pricing the home differently than what their tax value says. So then we just talk about the elephant in the room. Lastly, then the equity evaluation breaks it down into four different, if we were going off of just the comparable market analysis, if we're going just off of the square footage analysis, the internet estimates and tax value. And then what it does is it brings us to our favorite page, my favorite page, I should say, which is the equity evaluation range, which it then gives us a low range up to a high end range and where we think the home can sell and where we think we should price. We'll do a deeper dive in a part 2 where we'll actually show you the back end of how we actually make all this happen and how do you actually get, from comparable homes you picked out on the MLS to this actual really cohesive equity evaluation. So thanks so much for tuning in and we'll see you next time.